Hello again and welcome to the lecture 3 of our module 2, which is concerning content. And in this lecture we are going to learn how to actually create your own pins and what guidelines you should follow when you are creating your pins. This part is what actually turns off a lot of people, and a lot of people think this is the most difficult part of the Pinterest, even though it is not. It is, but people need to do that in order to actually grow their brands and grow their presence and drive traffic from Pinterest to wherever they want to drive it to. So, in this lecture, I'm gonna teach you how to actually create your pins and how to actually test your pins in order to understand how they work. And I'm gonna go into more details on how actually pins are working and how you are going to get something from them, what are the numbers that you are gonna get, more or less realistic, what you should bet on, what you should forget about, and actually how you can work this out in order to make it work for your own Pinterest profile. So without further ado, let's start with the creation of the pins. The majority of the pins I create on a website that you probably know very well. It is called canva.com. It is a website that is actually allowing you to create a lot of designs, including the posts. So in this case, we're going to go to canva.com and we are going to press Pinterest graphic. And that's it. When you open the Pinterest graphic, you're going to have a lot of templates on the left side, or in my case, there on the left side. And all you're going to do is you're going to go through them all and choose the design that you want to just make pins from. And that's it. You're just going to go like that and just choose the design that you want and just go and create your pins. So so where is the catch? If it is as simple as that to create your own Pinterest pins, why not a lot of people are actually succeeding in that? That is because the Canva will help you to understand how actual pins should look like. Like you would understand this from the Pinterest website as well, but here you understand how you actually can create pins like this one right here. You can see that this is different font, this is different font, this is different font, and this is different font. You can create lines and etc, etc. You're just gonna learn the pin building itself. Like right here, this is the different parts that you can actually use. This is the website that you wanna to go to just type in order to get people to your website. This is all the stuff that will help you understand how you can actually build pins. And at the very first period of your Pinterest lifetime, it will allow you to actually A/B test a lot of pins. So how you're gonna do that? So you're gonna come out with the name of your pin. So the name is depending on where you're getting people to, like the website name, like I don't know, like it doesn't matter, like it can be any website that you want, like even though this really great site.com. You have like in this case is top tips for the throwing an amazing birthday bash on a budget. So this is all about the birthday stuff. You have a blog post about that, or a video created about that, or maybe Instagram post about that, maybe a Facebook post about that. You're just gonna go and create the pins with this name. But what is most important here is to get a catchy name that people will click. What people will click, I'm gonna go to this about this later. Then what you're gonna do in order to understand what thing works for you, you're gonna go and create the pins with as many designs as you possibly can from here, with as many designs as you can, only with the one simple difference. As you can see, some photos here are like copyrighted that you need to actually purchase in order to use them. What you're gonna do instead is you're gonna use the photos from a website called unsplash.com. This is the free stock photography website that you could use a lot of different pictures in order to like spice up your Pinterest game. So just use photos from here and just use the designs from here from Canva and create as many pins as possible. It actually doesn't really matter that much. There is no universal formula for the pins that are actually getting clicked or that are actually getting impressions. But what will allow you in this case is to find out which pin designs are working for your personal Pinterest profile. And when you're going to find that, then you're gonna A/B test a lot of different stuff in order to understand what pins are getting impressions and what pins are not getting impressions. I'm not intentionally vague in this case. Don't get me wrong. I'm not intentionally vague because there is no universal formula on which pins are actually working. There is no universal formula. People will give you some stuff that, oh, you know what, the bright pictures are working the best. The other people you'll get, you know what, the darker backgrounds work the best. Then you go to other one, the colorful pictures work the best. Then you're gonna go to somewhere else and like, you know what, only the great photos work the best. The people who said that, you know, the big text work the best. The other ones will say, you know what, the no text works the best. They are all actually right, because they're all getting this information based on what they see, and because on different Pinterest accounts, different stuff are working. When you go through my pins, you will find a lot of different pins, like completely different designs, everyone from each other, like completely different. And the thing is that some of them are working and some of them are not working. What I do and what I suggest you to do, create as many pins and repins as possible. Let it sync, like from the canva.com, like create as many as possible, like create the names, get the naming idea from that, like sit down and create. Take your time, take day, take 2 days, take a week, take a month. It doesn't matter. You're going to continue growing your Pinterest on the side with scheduling and content population, even without that. So just think about that really, really well. Think about that or before you only like as in parallel with everything else. This is not the thing that you need to do in order to continue doing other things. This is the thing that you need to think about constantly. So for that reason, you're just gonna go continue doing your everything that you do on Pinterest while in parallel thinking and creating your own pins. Then what you're going to do is you're going to absolutely 100% go to analytics. Go to your analytics and see which pins are actually working. As you can see, like I'm right now, like around 150,000 was my max. Then it was under 6,000, 75,000. There is ups and downs. Always there will be ups and downs with your Pinterest account. So what you do in this case is you're going to look for the best performing pins. Like in my case, in the last 30 days, like this pin is like crushing it with 1,132,000 impressions. I know that this pin actually works. I'm going to press this one. And as you can see, this pin is just crushing it. 1 million impressions, 4,400 saves and 2,500 link clicks, which is simply great thing. I know that this thing is working, so for that reason, I decided to just sit down and model the success for the sake of this course, just show you how to actually do that. I sat down, I went to canva.com. I decided to deconstruct the picture here. So what it is extremely simple pin. It's the 100% motivational pin. And what's on the picture is the photo of the sunset, very dim, not very detailed photo, with a quote on it with white small letters. What I thought was the case in this case was that people were searching for motivation, and the pin was dropped in motivational board, so it would just come out for the people looking for motivation. And when they saw the pin with a small thumbnail, they could not read out the text. So in this case, they would just open it, I make a close-up, and when people are making a close-up, it immediately increases in ranking in Pinterest algorithm, and it just started promoting to more people. And then from those people who are making the close-up, then some of them were saving it to their boards, and other ones were just making links, and it was increasing the exposure of the pin even more. So for that reason, it just went viral. So that was one of the reasons why I thought that it would work. And then I made an experiment and completely copied this one, this exact pin, and I decided to go and create my own pin with exactly the same details. So I went and created the special board called quotes, and I decided to just, you know what, I will just continue and model the success if I can do that. And you know what, it didn't work. But there is one thing, you see that it didn't work, because you see it's a 14 impressions, 15 impressions, 14, 16, like no more than 20 right here. But what I did is I took 10 photos and 5 quotes. I took just 5 random quotes, nothing really impressive, nothing really important. And what I did is, I went here on unsplash.com and I took sunset pictures, and I choose just random pictures from something like this one. I used this one. I don't remember exactly. It was a few days ago that I chose the pictures that I thought was beautiful. I think I used this one. And I chose this one. I chose a lot of pictures. But it doesn't matter with the picture actually. But I wanted to see how actually this will work for you, in order to give you a case study for what actually is working. Then what I did, I made like 50 pins, 10 pictures per quote basically, and 5 quotes. So I made the 50 pictures, and you see all these quotes are actually all these pins are actually for the same quote. So what actually happened was that with an A/B testing, it turns out that some of the pins are just not getting the naming because of the quotes, because of actual text. When you open there, like you have an actual text like right here, like it's quotation and stuff. So some of them are not getting views because of the text itself. So what this gives us is that you need to have actually some wording in order to in your keywords, in your description, so people would get more information from the pin while they're searching it. So what I did all the same impressions with them, with all the same descriptions with them, all of the same, exactly the same descriptions, but only the difference was only with the text itself, with the quote itself and the pictures. So this did not work, none of them. So for that reason, I understood that picture is not playing that big of a role. So it's not. It should be just a good picture, and that's it. But what happened right here, if you scroll down, is boom, this picture just changed everything. 19.8 thousand, almost 20,000 impressions. 11.8 thousand, 4.6 thousand, go down, 1.8 thousand, 1.6, 9.10, 9.1, 9.1, 4.5, 4.4, 2.4, 10.7, 6.9, 2.1, 5.8, 2.7, 2.1, 2.1, 2.9, 2.5, 3.9. As you can see, like from the 50 pins, 20 of them, yeah, I actually did count it for you, 20 of them, which had 2 different quotes and 10 different pictures, got more than 1K impressions, which is actually a great thing to achieve, because you're gonna have thousands of pins by the end of the day. So if you have like only few pins, like in 50 pins, even if one of them achieves like 1K impressions, like it's a lot, like 1 to 20 basically. So so just multiply the numbers of the pins by the number of impressions that you get per pin, and this is exactly the monthly viewers that you are gonna get. So this is the huge thing, having 1,000 impressions on 20 pins from 50. It is amazing. So basically what you need to think about is just create different pins and just try to make it like calculate what works. In my case, it worked the usage of the, let me see, let me just open it like that. In this case, it was the usage of was like shine the light from within, and the live quotes number text here, the quotation here, the quote, using the quote, a lot of quotes inside the name. Then I'm gonna go and show you the same picture but with a different text, the world of balance and keep moving and this stuff, what people are actually looking for and what people are actually finding in motivation. This allowed me to like jump in, like bash through the algorithm and get a lot of viewers. And as you can see, from 20 pins getting more than 1k from 20 pins, as it's like 20k pins, 20k impressions only from that. But you know, as you saw, like the only one pin got 20k impressions, and this is the huge thing to achieve. That's what you need to do about the pin creation. You need to find out what works for you. And that's why I created a motivational pin. Basically, if you come here and just repin a lot of quotes and motivational pins, you'll get a lot of views by yourself, because motivation is like very broad thing that can be used, and it's easily you can replicate it pretty easily. You can find a good quote, you can even just copy quotes from mine and just create it with the different pictures and see how it will work, and like just copy exactly the words, the description as well, so you would see how it works, just to tweak a bit for yourself, and you'll see how it will work. I'm gonna continue experimenting with that, of course. And to create just for myself, to create the perfect formula that works for my. But I understand that, because I did this experiment with different Pinterest accounts as well, with Pinterest accounts of other my students, and it didn't work for some and worked for the others. And for the one type of Pinterest works, while the other for the other people, other type of Pinterest pins work. And for that reason, this is important. You need to sit down and find the perfect formula for yourself. To do so, what I suggest you to do: create a lot of pins, and just pin them, and create a lot of similar pins with the slight differences. That's why you need a lot of pins, just to spread them and do not make it look like you're like sharing the same pins over and over. So you would find out what works for you. It might work to have a great pictures. For others, it might work to have a great text on a picture. For the others, it might work the great description. For the third, it might work the great pin name. For the others, it might work to have a great metadata on the website itself. So you need just to think and just experiment with it. There is no formula. There is no 100% formula that it should work. So in my case, what I did exactly, just to wrap it up, just sum it up, what exactly I did. I found out that with that pin, the pin that was the very popular, there was only two elements that are actually important. One was the picture itself, and second was a quote, because there was no other elements on the picture as well. The third element that was very important for the picture was the visibility of the quote, because you cannot see the actual quote here. You need to press in order to see the quote. You're gonna increase that, and then you see barely. So for that reason, I think it increased the visibility of the people's of the website, so people would just need to look it up closely. So for me, that worked. It was like a bit of trick in order to get people to press for the close-up. But this is the result of 1 week, and 1 week entirely. I uploaded this 1 week ago. But for you to understand, this was the result of last few days, actually, because the first few days it was struggled to get momentum, because not a lot of people would look at it. But when a few people looked at it, it just exploded and just went all over the place. Went viral. Having the 20,000 impressions per pin is extremely good. And the other thing that you need to understand about the Pinterest itself is that majority, and I mean majority of your pins, like more than half of the pins, will not get any impressions, let alone the views. So you need to understand that. Just think with that. Just hammer it in your mind that not all the pins, not even majority of your pins, not even half of the pins will get any impressions. Don't think about that too much, because you're gonna create so many pins during the lifetime of Pinterest. You're just gonna go and smash that Pinterest creation. Just create so many pins that you have even no idea, because Pinterest is really a long-term commitment. For you will work on Pinterest for years in the future, and more you will work, more it will give you, more impressions you're gonna create, because you will understand which pins are actually working for you, and you're gonna get a lot more viewers, a lot more. So for that reason, I'm gonna give you an advice to work with your Pinterest really, really well, in order to understand what pins are actually working for you. Again, go to the canva.com and go to unsplash.com. Use the photos from Unsplash and use the designs from the canva.com at the beginning, at least. Find out which designs are working for you and just diversify that designs. Like in this case, as you can see, if you're using this pin, just if you see that this pin is actually working, find out what is actually working. Use different fonts, use different pictures, use different colors, and see which are working best for you, because maybe you'll find one pin that is actually like making wonders for you and only for you, and then just use that, and you will get just skyrocket your Pinterest views just to the skies and beyond. That's what I used with a few different pins. From 7,000 pins, probably the popular was like I used only 10 pin templates, and that allowed me to get a huge and unbelievably huge amount of views. Like million of views in 4 months is incredibly high, and even you will not find a lot of Pinterest users with 1 million monthly viewers, even the very, very big ones. So trust me, just go with that and just continue with that. And that will be it, people, for your module 2, my heroes. And basically what you know right now is how to have a board, how to have an amazing Pinterest board, a board selection, how to populate the boards with ease. I mean, but this is only the manual population, and how you can actually create your own pins and how you actually test your pins, because this testing of your pins probably is the most important part for your Pinterest account, because this will actually drive traffic to your website. Other things that we'll do after that will drive traffic to your Pinterest, which is more important. The pins that you created are for the people who are actually on your account, basically getting to your account. Now what we'll do after that with scheduling and module 3, with maintenance with module 4, and with applications in module 5, was that we will continue driving people towards your Pinterest to get you as many views on your profile as possible. So that was it for the module 2. Thank you for your attention. I hope it was helpful. If you have any question, again and again and again, just drop a comment. Just text me directly. No problem. I will just answer you without any hesitation. Maybe you have just to wait just a few hours. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because of time zone differences and other stuff. But overall, you will get your answer. You will just work hard and have patience. Again, Pinterest is all about the patience. The results will come. The results will be there pretty soon. You just need to be patient. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next module, or module 3. Is it the module 3? Yeah, it's a module 3, lecture 1, and we'll introduce you on how to go with scheduling. Thank you for your attention, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.